It's Thursday, November 13th, 2025. Again, a lot to talk about. Things are moving very, very quick. I want to talk a little bit about the markets today. First off, I want to start with this article on CNBC. New foreclosures jump 20% in October, a sign of more distress in the housing market. Completed foreclosures are up 32% year over year. So we are beginning to see people losing their homes. Today, if you were watching, Dow Jones was down about 800 points, NASDAQ down 536 points. Watching the volatility in these markets, looking at numbers like this with new foreclosures, completed foreclosures, took the Forerunner over to Toyota today for a service. Looking at the prices of cars, it is absolutely mind-blowing on top of interest rates. Gold today pulled back, silver pulled back a little bit this evening. They are back up. I will say this, I don't give financial advice, but I think this would be a horrible time to sell your gold or to sell your silver. Now, I have friends that run coin shops. I have friends that work at pawn shops, and they have seen people come in over the year selling gold and silver because they need the money to make the mortgage payment, to make rent, to pay business bills. And I understand if you're in need and you have to sell, you have to sell. But if you do not have to sell, if you're just trying to make quick money, quick buck, you're going to lose out bad, I think, because your cash is just going to get eaten by inflation. The only thing that is going to preserve wealth and keep up with inflation is gold and silver, especially gold, in my opinion. I would not sell your physical gold or silver now. Now is the time to hang on to it. I think in the next 36 months, we are going to see numbers we never even thought humanly possible in the precious metals sector. And I think that the metals are going to be more important now than any time in history. If you need to get some, if you need some help, you need a reputable precious metals dealer, go to my link down below, SD Bullion. To me, look, it doesn't matter where you get it. I think you need to get it. And if you have it, I think it's imperative now to hang on, not be tempted by the quick cash, the cash that is continuing to be devalued daily. This is the time to be accumulating more of this stuff, hanging on to it. And this is not financial advice. This is what I'm doing. I have never sold an ounce of gold or silver. I did sell some silver, I don't know, a couple years ago, and I just converted that over into gold. But I've never sold gold or silver for cash. I've never sold an ounce of gold. Did sell a few ounces of silver, but just converted that right into gold or another type of silver. I sold some really destroyed junk silver that I had years ago. It was really in bad shape, and I sold that and I bought a bunch of Eagles, and I got a really good deal on the Eagles. So I just converted one silver into another, or one silver coin into a gold coin, but I never ever sold for cash. So hang on to this stuff. I think it's going to be very, very important. Nearly 900,000 new homeowners are underwater on their mortgages, signaling a troubling shift in the housing market. This on Market Watch. Think about the people that got bamboozled in 21 and 22 at the height of the market to go and buy a house. You can always refinance. This is the best time to buy. Prices are only going to go up. You're never going to get another opportunity. And people took it hook, line, and sinker. And now they're upside down and there's no way out. And now the economy is beginning to really crack. People are losing jobs. Inflation, we're not near that 2% target that the Fed was so emphatic about getting to. And now we're cutting rates with elevated inflation. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. We're going to see QE coming back. Quantitative tightening has stopped with $6.6 trillion on the Fed's balance sheet. This is just absolutely pure insanity what's going on. And it is, again, an important time to be protecting your wealth with gold and silver. Think about what's going on right now. You have Russia now taking over more of Ukraine than ever. Things are escalating. They're going to be begging for more money, more missiles, more Tomahawks, more jets, and at some point, soldiers. And I pray to God that we just get out of this mess today. Mass layoffs continue. Stimulus checks. They're talking about giving everybody $2,000 stimulus checks when the government is broke. The government is broke. What did the shutdown just cost us? $1.5 trillion on top of the $38 trillion of debt we already have and skyrocketing. We're seeing foreclosures now coming back. Inflation is out of control. And we're watching, even though we had a big pullback today in the markets, we're still right around all-time highs. The melt up continues, and tomorrow we could be up 1,000 points. And there are people out there that think that owning gold and silver is a bad idea. If you've been doing this over the last few years, last decade, you know it's not a bad idea. It's a necessary strategy now to survive this economic collapse that has begun. You're going to be very, very glad that you have this stuff, that you have the food and water, that you have the training, that you have the skills. Don't think that just because you have gold and silver, you're going to be in good shape. You need to be covering all bases. Are you training? Do you have the skills to protect yourself? Do you have food and water put away? Do you have a little bit of cash put away? Do you have barterable items? Do you have a very good close circle of friends that know how to do things? These people, nearly a million people that recently bought homes, are underwater. Not a good sign, especially now that we are witnessing a very, very serious downturn. You certainly don't want to be upside down. Certainly don't want to be holding a lot of debt with everything that is going on. But again, take a look around you. What is going on globally? What's happening right here? The debt, the deficits, the job losses, inflation, the market melt up, gold, $4,200 an ounce. Is that not enough to tell you something's going on? And the debts continue to go up and up and up. And what do they want to do? They're going to want to throw you some crumbs for $2,000, give you $2,000 worth of crumbs so that you kind of just go out and have fun, spend it, and go away for a while. TheEconomicCollapse.com. In America's K-shaped economy, the rich are getting richer while almost everyone else is getting the sharp end of the stick. How many of you agree with that? Comment down below. I agree 100%. You are witnessing now a two-tier system here in the United States of America. More Americans than ever are falling behind on their car payments. We're looking at 3 million car repos in the U.S. this year. And we're supposed to believe that this is a good economy, a booming economy. This is a very, very bad economy. Most Americans now are very, very concerned about losing their job as mass layoffs continue to explode. Food prices. I go to the grocery store once a week, and I'm just flabbergasted where food prices are. I mean, literally a bag of potato chips is like $6. A small bag is like $3 something. It's unbelievable. And you're getting less chips, less in the bag, more air, less chips. I don't know how people are doing this. I talk to a lot of people and they go, I don't know how people are doing it. I don't know how people are doing it. I really, really don't. Private employers shed 45,000 jobs in October. You look at the savings rate in America, people are saving less as their debt soars and as they have to spend more at the stores. I don't know how much worse this is going to get, but it looks like it's going to get a lot worse. Wolfstreet.com, inflation rages in streaming services. But this is interesting. So streaming services, many people watching this may have it. Think about, people have the Disney Channel, they have this, they have that. Netflix. A lot of people aren't cutting this out. They're not cutting this out. And what I find, what is funny is people will say, I can't believe you're telling people to buy gold and silver. Gold's this much, it's $4,200 and silver's $53 an ounce. And you're telling people, yeah, because they're still going to Disneyland. They're still going to basketball games. They're still going to baseball games. They're still going to football games. and they're still paying for streaming. Yet they have not 1 ounce of silver or gold, but they have the money for the Disney Channel. They have the money for these other channels. They pay for streaming. It doesn't seem to faze them. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. People better get their houses in order very, very quick. California cancels 17,000 commercial driver licenses following federal audit. These CDLs, the commercial driver licenses, were given to dangerous foreign drivers. Think about this, 17,000 just in the state of California. And Newsom said that we've done nothing wrong. We've done nothing wrong. 16,000 failed to comply with federal requirements, yet given a commercial driver's license, not a driver's license, a commercial driver's license, driving big rigs, 80,000 pounds down highways and interstates throughout this country. You get a CDL in California, you can pretty much, I guess, drive in any state across the country. And your family is out there having to drive on the same roads as these people who should not be on these roads and shouldn't even be in this country. Yet we're giving them 80,000 pound vehicles to drive around while your family's on the road. Here's an interesting one. Verizon to cut 15,000 jobs as it restructures, source says. Reuters. Merry Christmas to everybody at Verizon. It is really sad to see people losing jobs this time of year, right before Thanksgiving, before Christmas. You don't want to see this. It is happening, and it is a reflection of just how bad the U.S. economy really is. We're going to see more AI taking jobs, more robots, more restructuring, and we're going to see more people having to have more responsibilities at their jobs because they're going to cut people and they're going to give you the responsibility and not pay you for it. So you'll be doing the job of 2 or 3 people, and maybe they'll throw you a couple bones, a couple crumbs here and there, but you're not going to get paid what you're worth. It was interesting just a couple years ago when there were all these jobs and people could upgrade and go across the street and make $20,000 more a year, $30,000 more a year for doing the same job, and now those days are over. I would advise do whatever you can do, whatever you have to do to not lose your job at this point, but nobody's immune from it. This thing is getting very, very ugly. It's getting out of control. We're talking, about World War III every day now on the television. It seems like we're still attached to this Ukrainian-Russian war as we finance it and send military equipment over there and missiles. And my biggest fear is we start sending soldiers over there and start ramping up over there. I mean, we're getting involved with Venezuela. Things are not looking good. We just can't afford to do it. I mean, if you look at this just financially, if we even wanted to really do this, we really can't afford to do this because we're broke. And we're talking about giving $2,000 stimulus checks to everybody in the United States. This makes no sense to me whatsoever. I'd really like to know what you think about all this. Leave a comment down below. We are living in absolute shocking times. And I think that when we hit 2026, this thing is really going to get ramped up. I advise that you get your debts paid down immediately. Be very careful what you spend on Christmas. Don't get sucked into the corporatocracy now that Christmas has turned into. It's great to spend time with friends and family. I think you should do that, but don't overspend. Please do not overspend. Get your debts paid off. Get your house in order. Make sure you have some food and water. Make sure you have some metals. This is no game, ladies and gentlemen. People were laughing a couple years ago. They're not laughing now. It's not about doom and gloom. It's about reality. I'm just reading. I'm not making the news up. I'm reading the news to you. I'm reading the news to you from Reuters, Wall Street Journal, CNBC, Fox Business, Hal Turner Radio Show, Steve Quayle website, wolfstreet.com, theeconomiccollapse.com, all these places, everywhere, CNN, I'm reading the news to you. And yet people think I'm making all of this up. It's reality. There is a major storm coming. Please, I pray you prepare for it. The more people prepared for it, the better off this country will be. Have a good evening. Be safe out there. God bless.